Welcome, my friends. This is Maniacal Incorporated. We have created the Kingdom of Ireland. We have built a mighty Battle Druid Army to defend it. And now we will try to reform the Druidic faith. I want to put sanctioned witchcraft in and megalithic constructions. The only problem is it's going to take quite a lot of piety. And I don't think Angus is going to be able to get it done during his lifetime. So what we're going to do is we're going to conquer the third Gaelic holy site that we need. And we're going to begin preparing the way for a successor who will be able to put that piety together and reform the religion. At the moment, for the High Kingship, we are supporting our wife, High Queen Etna. However, if we switch to Owen, we should be able to secure his succession. And if we take a look at him, he is a mastermind philosopher. So that's going to give us 40% learning lifestyle experience per month. So hopefully that's going to be able to get him through the theology trait at the very least, which is the one that I think will generate the most piety for us. Now, as we have put Owen as our new successor, what we're going to do, because it contains the Hall of Heroes, we're going to move our capital to Meath. So Owen should inherit that. It will leave him with the Hall of Heroes, which we might as well begin upgrading. So he'll have a level 2 Hall of Heroes, extra piety per month per night, increased night effectiveness. We might see about... I was going to see about upgrading some of the other buildings, but I don't think we can. Nope, so that's pretty much the only thing we can upgrade at the moment. We have just formed an alliance with the ruler of Lancaster and his 2,500 troops between our son Constantine and his daughter. And we're going to use that alliance immediately to take control of the third Gaelic holy site. If we take a look, we have the one in Sligo. We need to convert the ruler to Druidism. There's one up here in the Orkneys. This is the one we're going to go for. And how we're going to get that, do you know what? We're going to go for all of them, but how we're going to get it immediately is we are going to declare war to subjugate the Isles. Our new ally has joined us. I had to actually bribe him to join us. Now, he's in a war at the moment, but we should be able to hold out long enough until he arrives. I'm going to send this force over here under Oswald. And we've been told that we've inherited Tyrconnell from Oswald. So poor old Oswald has passed away, which means we've gained some territory. And we were rushing there at the end of the last episode to get 4 contented councillors. Shockness hates us, but we'll put him in there. So we needed 4 powerful vassals on the council, and we got Oswald in that position, and we are very lucky that we did, because we would have a tremendous amount of trouble. Trying to get that done again if Oswald had died earlier. Also in the last episode, I put the High King going down the learning lifestyle to try and get some piety together, the way we could become the defenders of Danu. And with that now achieved, what I think we're going to focus on is getting to increase development in county efficiency. And I am going to switch to increasing the efficiency in Meath. And we can see there in the corner, the Isles army is setting out to sea. They're going to land down on top of that army, so we won't be able to move them out. We'll put the High King himself in command. I should have brought these forces a bit closer. Will they get in time? They will indeed, just in time to change the course of the battle. It wasn't looking good there for a while. We can see there over in Annandale that our son Constantine's father-in-law has started attacking a few places. He was attacking Annandale. He's now moving. I think we're actually going in against the Viking forces, or against the Isles. They have been caught. I think they're A-okay. We'll go in against their capital Our Druidess has died and has been replaced by somebody who hates us, and they are utterly useless. We've just gotten in to begin the siege. It's entirely possible that we're not going to be able to complete it because they will, with that defeat that's going on. We hit 100% war score. We will enforce our demands. So be it. Our siege engineer, WARLOCK, did mighty work for us, and we are going to reward him. We're going to grant him a title of Tier Cunnel. Now, we have some very unhappy Norse vassals under our authority at the moment, and I have a feeling they're going to be rebelling against us. The only problem is we don't have the ability to revoke titles just yet. We need to get the piety or the prestige together to handle that. What I'm going to try and do is we're going to bring the Jarl into our council as our chancellor and try and get him to convince himself that we're actually really cool. We might put Shocknasuk on control growth. I have not been focusing and will not be focusing on control in the areas that we don't control directly. Meath is still in a bad place from the last war, so I have him mostly training commanders, and he's actually trained up quite a strong army, and Oswald before him. And I think I'm happy enough with what everyone else is doing, except for you. Oh god. And we're being told that our son, Moel Owen, badly injured in our last battle there, that he can marry into Norway. So he's leaving the court. He's gone. He's now become a Jarl, a badly injured Jarl in Norway. A recent gathering of druids has confirmed that those who like this video, leave a comment and subscribe to the channel will be personally escorted to the other world by the Tuatha when they pass beyond. We got a chunk of prestige, but not enough prestige. We are going to begin sieging down some areas. I think that one has already ended, or we can siege it down. We should be able to take on that army. That's fine. Or maybe not. Our son Constantine has been killed in battle by Moel Martin. My brave son. We're going to take on 40 stress. We're going to become a rival to Moel Martin. And we are now suffering from a tremendous amount of grief. Considering we just became an eager reveler, I think we will turn to the drink. So we're now in a bit of an issue. We've lost our alliance to this region down here. Of course, many of these areas that have come in as part of the Isles are now threatening to rebel against us. The handy thing is that we now have some territory in Scotland that we can kind of raid into, or raid into and raid out of. So we were able to drop off all of our stuff there in Annandale. All of our stuff. All the stuff that we just found lying around the place. So I'm getting a bit worried about the potential of a revolt from the Isles. I have formed an alliance with Bedford and 1,200 troops. I was just about to say most of the rest of this place has fallen apart, so we'll bring our forces back, and we are threatened with an independence demand from the Jarl of the Isles. I will not be threatened. Rally the troops. They're already rallied. Our sister-in-law has agreed to join. I was trying to bring my money back somewhere. Our daughter-in-law has agreed to join. And Mercia is joining. I was trying to bring my money back somewhere. I don't know if we've delivered our loot, but we're at war with this place. So who have we delivered it to? They have a very similar idea to us. They've headed into Tyrone. I think what we're going to do is march on Dublin. We're going to wait for some people to arrive. So I think some of our forces from Mercia have landed on the Isles. It doesn't make much of a difference. The ruler of the Isles has died of old age at 64. So be it. That's a good and a bad thing. I was hoping that we were going to be able to imprison a few people and possibly force their conversion. This is absolutely insane. If we look at convert faith in county for County Meath, 41 years. Can I... No, not romance you. Can we plot to murder you? It'll cause us stress. God damn it. Because some of our vassals are Norse, we're in a position to hold a grand sacrifice. And I think we're going to do this to get our opinion up with our new Norse vassals. It's going to cost us piety. It's going to cost a bit of prestige. We don't have any prisoners to sacrifice. So exactly, basically they could be worth appeasing. That's exactly why we're doing this. Our lover brings us a rare orchid on the same day that Muel Martin, the man who killed our son, died in his sleep not a day too soon. And so the preparations for the grand sacrifice have begun. I think we'll invite everyone. It's just an extra 55 quid. And the man that we're trying to impress, here he is, the big man himself, the new Jarl of the Isles. So the good thing is, well, I was going to say that they're weak. They were weak for a while. They're picking up in strength again, but I'd say it's going to be a while before he's in a position to challenge us. And so here is the choice as to what we are going to sacrifice. We are not going to sacrifice humans. We will bring forth a beast or fowl for every man. The grand festival. I may not share their faith, but happy subjects make for a happy high king. So we've spent some piety, we've lost some stress, and we have gained 30 opinion with some of our courtiers. Here's our poor old wife calling us into a... Or not our wife, this is our son's wife calling us into a peasant rebellion. So there you can see at the bottom, held grand sacrifice plus 30. Can we now get you to convert? No. I was hoping we could sit this one out, but our daughter-in-law does look to be in a bit of trouble. So I have raised the armies and I'm bringing them across. We better not get them... We'll see if we can get rid of that penalty first of all. It shouldn't... We should probably be able to go in against them, but you know what? We'll just hold off. That penalty is gone, and with the High King commanding the army, his first ever battle outside of Britain and Ireland. There you go. Anything else? That it? You're grand out? Talk to you later, so then. We are lacking in good knights at the moment, and I actually have my marshal back training some, so what we're going to do is invite some champions to the kingdom. Here is the first, and this is the first time that we are beginning to see Gaelic knights coming to the court. You can see there in the corner, I have been trying to sway Chieftain Neil of Tyrone with the last while. We've gotten him up to 72. And if we offer him vassalization, he will accept. An acquaintance of ours has been taken prisoner. Who cares? Neil, the poor man, who we took Meath from to become defenders of Danu, he has accepted vassalization and entered our kingdom. Our son Constantine, who was killed in battle, the man who would have been his father-in-law, has written a poem, a lament for the High King. Surely it's about the death of our son. And we will tell him that I can see this is truly heartfelt. And what a glorious day this is. We have made Neil see sense and convert to Druidism. As we picked up some servants there a while ago, we're going to call a hunt to try them out. Just as my vassal, Chieftain Orthaluk, and I crest a hill, we hear it. The snapping of twigs, the rustle of branches, birds screaming in fright. They are heralds announcing its arrival. A massive wolf heading straight for us. Its path ends here with me. We are wounded and we are near death. We return home, looking like Balor. We gain 150 prestige. I think the High King was upset at the loss of his son Constantine, and he became a bit vengeful. Oh god. The rings of the power of the lore of the druids, there's no point. You wouldn't know a druid if one of them fell out of a tree on top of you. Courage. Oh, for God's sake. Diligence. You have died. High King Angus of Ireland has been buried with his sword in a woodland grove at 61 years of age. He died from his wounds. Known for spending most of his nights in his laboratory, he was believed by many to be nothing more than a warlock, concocting unholy spells in the secrecy of his castle. High King Moel Owen returns from Norway. A wise and learned man, progress and innovation is expected under his rule. Indeed it is. I will take a look at what we have at our disposal. We have Urvuin and we have Meath. Munster has gone to Moel Pole. And our younger brother Phelimid has gotten Ossory. Continue as the new High King. We have 349 piety. We need another 5,300. Learning lifestyle, 40%. And he has already started down theologian and clerical justifications. That's fantastic. The only problem is how utterly useless our court druid is. We're going to put him on theology focus. And the other thing that we're going to have to do is kill our court druid. We will start that scheme and we will put our spymaster supporting it. So I'm not too sure who it was that our father was betrothed to. It was one of the two sisters of the Countess of Bedford. So we are going to possibly organize a betrothal to somebody who was just betrothed to our father. It's not weird, I swear. And we're fairly lacking in terms of potential alliances around the area. So what we're going to do is we're going to marry our father's widow. She is 2 years younger than us. So we're going to marry her. And we're going to see then if we can organize a alliance with her brother. So negotiate alliance, it's -10 at the moment. It's possible that we could actually sway him. We'll try and sway him. I'm sure we'll be able to get there. And the last thing we will do to inaugurate our rule is we will go on a pilgrimage to Sligo. We arrive in Sligo. 250 piety and a 72% chance to gain the wise man trait. And we've gained that. We could be the last ruler to get that because we will be the tenet that gives us that chance. We're going to reform that out of Druidism. And what better way is there to inaugurate the reign of the new High King than a ton of raids? We're going to raid down these guys again. All this land is still in a bit of trouble, so we're going to push up into Scotland. Moel Pole has created a faction against us. Moel Pole, how could you? My spy master approaches me with a wicked grin. He has a present for our druid. We will pay 15 gold. And Mora will get not feeling well. There is a Celtic play in Druidic, The Passion of Armagh. So we could not attend and gain stress because we are zealous. A pious night at the theatre it is. And somebody is asking to promote a commander, Ochmaroin. Absolutely, Ochmaroin will serve us. The Passion of Monaghan and Maclir. You must teach me to interpret the lore of the Druids as you do. Well, we might gain a perk if we can go this way. I don't think we made a great choice. We have 3 people to play the main role. Useless diplomacy, not much better, not much better. We will go with ourself, and because of all of this running around the place, we've gotten a bit distracted. Or all of these plays. So our forces have been hit. It's a dramatic debut. We have spent piety and gained stress. We managed to get in there and save our army just in time. Unfortunately, Scotland has decided to come after us. The court druidess has decided to, or has discovered that we're trying to kill her. I will show them how far I will go. We're going to keep going because she's utterly useless. Scotland is coming in against us. Our spy master has just died and we have inherited some land from him. He is trying to overthrow us. Well, he's planned to overthrow us, but it looks like Moel Pole is the best man for the job at the moment. And I think we're going to try and spend more money. No, we're not going to spend money. We're just going to try and poison a cask of wine. 87% chance that she's killed. May she rest in peace. Aymar is our new druid. Not terrible. We won't try and kill him. Our stepmother has given us a child. Wait, no, our wife has... our wife has given us a child. Good Irish name, Dervla. I don't know how I feel about this, but the Isles are attacking to seize Antrim. Do you know what? If it keeps them happy, let them away at it. This is the first time I've been on the other side of one of these events. We are attending our wife's feast. This better be worth my time. We have a dilemma at the feast. We're going to try and form an intimate relationship with our wife. I think that's probably a good idea. She has, however, thrown up on us. What kind of intimacy was going on here? 40 stress because we're forgiving, or 60 stress because we're temperate. And we're into breakdown town. I think what we're going to try and do is resist the impulses. Do we want to become a flagellant? No. We have accidentally wandered into a tiny raiding army somewhere. We lose 20 stress. We increase our opinion with our wife. We're still fairly stressed. With the money that we have just put together on those raids, we are again going to expand the Hall of Heroes. We have swayed our brother-in-law, and we can now negotiate an alliance. We will negotiate that. We're being asked to a feast. Absolutely. Olfla U Dovgoil promises to teach us the secrets of nature. We could gain the herbalist trait. I think that's what we're going to take. We could have taken 100 piety. We're making 7 a month, so it would have been a bit of a waste. 7.3 because of that herbalist trait that we've just taken. And Tholfla and I are spending another late night categorizing plants and brewing potions. I am paging through one of her worn tomes when I discover a most intriguing recipe. I did not know mere herbs possess such power. So we could gain the trait Warlock, which would give us increased intrigue and learning, and considering that we are trying to push to make Warlock an accepted trait, I think we will delve deeper into this hidden knowledge. Well, it looks like she wasn't a warlock or a witch. Apology, neither am I. I hate that type of stuff. What's that? A feast in Limerick? Oh yes, sorry, I have to go. Our court tutor and our druid are arguing over theology. We could support the Insurist court tutor and convert to Insurism, or we could, as a result of our zealous trait, we could support our druid. We could gain High King Moel Owen's Lore of the Druids artifact, lose some stress, and our court tutor is going to leave the court. Well, let's see what this artifact is like. An immediate war. This is the wife, we'd better help her out. High King Moel Owen of Ireland's personal bound collection of Gaelic teachings, faced with a golden Triskelion, plus 0.2 piety per month. That is fantastic. So we will equip that. We're up to 7.5 per month now, and we have also recently hit Devoted Servant. So I think we're on the way. We're on the way. Hall of Heroes level 3 has been constructed. Our wife has attacked somebody, and she's actually leading at the moment. So do you know what? I'd say we're grand. We don't need to come up in this direction at all. This lad, truthfulness. Here is the ruler in Sligo. I'm going to ask him to convert. He is 64 years of age, however, he's going to be succeeded by his son. I don't think he will convert as well, but we need to convert the ruler there to Gaelic for it to count as one of the actual holy sites. So he has indeed converted. Fantastic. So that'll now tell us that we have 2 of the holy sites, Uisneach and Sligo, and we need to convert the ruler of Lewis, just so happens to be Carl. And there you go, the wife has won her war without us needing to do anything. Oh, the wife is onto us again. Yamtaland has declared war on them. We will accept. Right, there's a couple of things after happening here. We will focus on earthly matters. Carl's after dying. One of my vassals has accused my spymaster and potential successor, Moel Pole, of having an extramarital affair. And we'll have to go with, because we can't take the stress, we will have to go with the crime cannot go unpunished. Chiefess Muirin gets imprisoned. So the new ruler of the Isles has come of age. He's establishing an independence faction. We're going to start trying to sway him. He's not really good enough to put in any of our council positions, except maybe Marshal. He's useless, but I wouldn't be too worried about putting him in as Marshal. Oh, we couldn't let him train anyone though. That's the only problem. There's a story in our little town of a king with a garlic crown. To battle the heathens, he rode on a donkey, but his only success was against a small monkey. Our stepmother, our wife, is singing bold songs. So I think there's a chance that we get the nickname. Maybe not. All courtiers get 10 opinion. We lose 20 stress. It is a funny story. We have a new lifestyle learning perk. I'm not too sure what's going on up here. We're somehow 86% against this army. I'm not too sure what our wife is doing. Let's see if we can actually get this siege finished. There you go. Hasn't actually done anything. We've gotten ourselves a branch. Oh, boys. First things first, we will elevate ourselves from religious icon to prophet. They're going around in a long, weird direction. They're welcome to do so. We're up to 98%. I think they're probably going to try and get up here and attack one of our wife's armies. So if we can just bring this to 100%. Victory. What do we get? Thanks. Well, the wife is pregnant. I have a feeling she's trying to form the Kingdom of Norway. We have put that army, we've raised that army, we'll send them up in some direction. I don't know what she's at. At this stage now, I don't know what is she at. They do have a substantial force, the people that she's attacking. Here's our other wife that was just demanding that somebody be ejected from the court. We said no, so she brings us a cat. I would love a feline companion. And we are, of course, going to call the cat Pangerbone. All cats must be called Pangerbone. And it is a daughter, Moraid, potentially a future ruler in this region. We're going to lose a hefty amount of troops. I think we've lost nearly 400 troops as we march in here to siege down their capital. They're sieging the wife's capital. Again, I don't know what's going on. I don't even know where the wife's after going. I don't even know what the wife wants. Well, there you go. We've managed to capture the ruler of this region and bring the war to an end. Well, okay, now we've brought the war to an end. And we get all the prestige, as is only too right. Here on our council, Etna is doing a great job as steward. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to switch her out for the ruler of the Isles. We've swayed him as much as we can, and he's at -20. We're pushing on down through the learning lifestyle tree. We're going to go for Radiant, which I don't think is going to do a whole lot. I think it just increases how much clergy opinion we have. So, but it pushes us on towards Theologian. I recently appointed a court alamoner. I didn't realize that we didn't have one. We're now up to 10 piety per month. To keep the vassals happy, gain some piety, and lose some stress, we're going to hold a feast. So Chieftain Ortholok, who's looking a bit unwell, we could have an interesting conversation, gives us +1 learning, or gain opinion with him. I think we're A-okay for opinion. And so our guests depart. Until next time, we get 90 prestige and 20 opinion for 10 years with all of our vassals who attended. And we've just taken Lancaster. That's impressive. Like I did something. He knows we're desperate to get him on side. The devil, he has sent a member of his court to ours with an introduction that says, please assassinate the bearer of this letter. We can't tell them to run, so we're going to tell her, welcome, have some poisoned spice wine. And she has indeed died. I think we're going to use this as our time, and we're going to demand his conversion. It's still not clear that he will accept. We could try and get a hook on him. We're going to demand his conversion. And he has accepted. He has seen the light of Danu. After we agreed to murder somebody that came to his court. Look at the big happy smile on his face. Now he's a +92. Blessed be Danu. We're closing in on the total number that we need to convert or to reform Druidism. The island of Ireland is almost complete. We just have this tiny, tiny little region here. And what we're going to do is we're going to declare a simple war. And all we want to do is subjugate and take this entire area. They have just lost a war against the Danelaw. They've actually just lost some land, so they are in a very bad state. They have been a nuisance for quite a while. And we're going to incorporate them into our new holdings now that we have gotten the Isles kind of some way almost sorted out. Actually, considering Ortholok is commanding, we will send him in that direction. Here, I believe, is the new King of Scotland. There's been quite a lot of anarchy in Scotland of recent. House Alpin. We could say it's rare to find a true friend, or I never want to see his face again. Do you know what? He dresses like me. I don't like him. The sieges continue. The one of Annadale is going to be finished first. We have a new lifestyle learning perk. Defender of the Faith. Same faith opinion goes up. Tyranny gain goes down. One of the numerous High Queens is pregnant. So we're almost at Theologian. We have lost Annadale. We're sieging down their capital. We're not too pushed. They're going to land somewhere on the island. We're going to be able to send the forces in down against them. Pangerbone brings us comfort, and we lose a lot of stress. I was just about to say, I have no idea who this man is. I think that's my wife. That's my wife. So we're going to have to accept in... What is this? Look, I'm busy. Just give me a minute. Lads, she knows we have a big army and she is prepared to use it. She's gone on another conquest. I literally think she's trying to form Norway. So we have taken down, and we are going to march our army down to lift the siege of Meath. We have a strong faction established. We just got in time to hit them. There is our great commander, Shaknasach. And we have a son, and I think it is only right that we would name him after our father, Angus. Oh, and our great champion and court poet has died. We are kind of lacking in poets, or not in poets, but champions. I think we're going to have to go on another round of recruiting champions. The Isles have lifted the siege of Annadale, and that is enough for us to claim victory and to invite new vassals into our kingdom. Don't be like that. The High Chieftain of this region is a very good spy master. We won't put him at that just yet. We're going to try and sway him. We might give him a court position. It might be Marshal. And he has formed a faction against us, as was to be expected. The Wife's War isn't going great at the moment. I won't lie, I don't know really what way it's going. We're trying to sway this guy. We will send 20 gold to increase. And it looks like that battle has ended inconclusively after we spent about 40 quid coming over here. Down into Leinster we go again to see what way things sit for requesting the Chieftess's conversion. It's a bit of a risk. It's a bit of a risk, so I'm going to hold off. Are we in a position where we can start to... where it's not creepy if we sway her? No, nearly. We've just discovered the barracks innovation, so I'm going to use that to expand our war camp in Meath. And now that she has turned 16, we will abandon our scheme to sway the chieftain over here. The tavern in Orvuan is usually the perfect place to forget about the troubles of the world, but tonight is an exception. As ill luck would have it, sitting at one of the tables over from Orthalok and I is my wife. And she has been being a nuisance since we arrived. All it took was one more accidental spill of her spiced wine over my arm, and suddenly Artaluk was on his feet. So we could either say, hit her in the face, Artaluk, or she isn't worth it, mate. And he will become loyal. And we've picked up another lifestyle perk, and there you go. We now have Theologian, which will give us monthly piety plus 20%. I actually think that we don't need it anymore. I think we have the piety. I think all we need to do is get a holy site under the control of a druid. And for some reason, we are unable to siege down England. And with just one attempt at converting her, we have gotten the chance of success up to 92%. And we also have, something just reminded me, we have a ton of prisoners who, well, not a ton. He's not great. And can't ransom you out. Santa Claus won't pay for you. We'll demand your conversion as well. A 5-year-old going back talking about Druidism. There we go. A target disbanding us has been factioned. A faction targeting us has been disbanded. Christina has converted to Druidism. I think that's most of the major vassals in the kingdom from our conquest of the Isles. We will see what's going on here. Our spy master has gone missing. Well, Paul, what have you done? Here's our brother Phalamede, who has some good stats for the position. I'm not sure what's after happening to him. He's still hanging around here. He's lost Tuavuan to his... I don't know what relative she is to him, but he has lost Tuavuan to Etna. So what we're going to do is we are going to create the Duchy of Meath. Now, Dublin should be in there as well, but Dublin currently belongs to the Duchess of Leinster, and we're not going to anger her by taking that from her. Let's see if we are now in a position to reform the Gaelic faith. Morgan the Devil has converted back to insularism. Morgan will demand his conversion. And with him and his small numbers, we can be a bit more violent. If he refuses, we might wander in there and bait him up. He has decided... Good man, just like your father. Right. Now do we have what it takes to reform the Gaelic faith? We do. We've gotten enough piety together to make some big changes. Sanctioned witchcraft is going in. Megalithic constructions. We are going to create a spiritual head of faith, and I have also put in spiritual revocable cleric appointments. I think I'm pretty much happy with everything else. Yeah, sure. Finally, let us reform the faith. We have a lot of work to do to stabilize the new Gaelic faith, the organized Gaelic faith, which is organized around the High Druid Failcú. And we have, he's a member of the Inail Moor, and we have the Gaelic High Druidic Duchy title. We have, if I can figure out which one is Meath, we've the Sacred Grove of Ushnach, and we can build all of these various things. Well, of course, we can't because we are tribal, but the one thing that we can build, when we get the county converted, is we'll be able to build a megalith, which will give us extra piety and development growth. Our conversion has necessitated the appointment of a new court druid, Moel Morda, and what I'm going to do is get him to begin the process of converting Meath, and that should take 4 years. So we do already have a few areas that have converted from what I can see. There we have the new organized Gaelic faith. And now we are finally in a position to make that decision that we have been waiting for so long. We will pet Pangerbone. Was this what this episode was about? Oh wait, no, it was Embrace Witchcraft. That's what we wanted to do. We're going to gain some stress. And we will gain the trait Warlock. -1 diplomacy, +1 intrigue, +1 learning. Moel Owen dabbles in subjects many would consider occult. We now have some of the options available to us, some of the more unusual options that I have never actually seen before in any of my own playthroughs. We can found a witch's coven. Our sons and daughters will be raised to embrace their powers and the will of the Cailleach. May we serve her well. That is the Irish word for a hag. It's kind of a hag / winter spirit. So the Cailleach Vera would be a very famous example that gives their name to Bear Island and the Beara Peninsula down in County Cork. So we're going to see if we can get 60% of the adult members of the Onach Rahlan converted to witches, currently 14.28%. So that shouldn't be too tough. That is going to be our next goal. And then the head of the Onach Rahlan Coven will be able to host a grand rite. Our army is just short of 5,000, our organised Battle Druid Army. And once we have converted our house to witchcraft and gained the eldritch powers that they give us, our next, our final and ultimate goal will be the foundation of a Druidic Celtic empire. Thank you for joining me on this episode. Get your broomsticks and your cauldrons ready. You'll need them for the next one.